Roman Emperor 306-312, drowns at the Battle of Milvian Bridge at 34. In 1138 Boleslaw III Wrymouth scheefmond, Duke of Poland, dies at 52. In 1225 Jien, Japanese poet and historian, dies at 70. In 1312 Elisabeth of Tirol, German queen. In 1412 Margaret I of Denmark, wife of Haakon VI of Norway b. 1353. In 1468 Bianca Maria Visconti, Duchess of Milan 1450-68, dies at 43. In 1520 Pier Gerlofs Donia, Frisian pirate and freedom fighter. In 1568 Ashikaga Yoshihide, 14th Japanese gun of the Ashikaga shogunate 1564-8, dies at 30 b. 1538. In 1627 Jahangir, 4th Mughal Emperor of India 1605-27, dies at 58. In 1637 Foppe van Aitzema, Dutch diplomat, dies at about 57. In 1639 Stefano Landi, Italian composer b. 1587. In 1646 William Dobson, English portrait painter, dies at about 35 b. 1610. In 1649 Blanche Arundel, English noblewoman led defence of Wardour Castle during English Civil War, dies at 65 or 66 1. In 1661 August M. Morto y Cavanner, Spanish playwright b. 1518. In 1676 Jean Desmarets, French writer b. 1595. English mathematician and cryptographer who introduced as a symbol for infinity, dies at 86. English empiricist philosopher, influential Enlightenment thinker, and father of liberalism, 2 treatises of government, dies at 72. In 1708 Prince George of Denmark, Prince Consort of Anne of England, dies at 55. In 1716 Stephen Fox, English politician, dies at 89. In 1740 Anna Ivanova, Empress of Russia 1730-40, dies of a kidney stone at 47. In 1754 Friedrich von Hagedorn, German poet for such Einiger poem, dies at 46. In 1755 Joseph Bodin de Beausoirtier, composer, dies at 65. In 1763 Heinrich von Barachel, German statesman, dies at 63. In 1768 Mitchell Blavet, French court flautist composer, dies at 68. In 1779 Raphael Weiss, German composer and priest, dies at 66. In 1792 John Smeaton, British civil engineer, dies at 68. In 1792 Paul M. Eitring, German physician and scientist, died at 82. In 1800 Artemus Ward, American politician and soldier major general during the American Revolutionary War, dies at 72. In 1806 Charlotte Turner Smith, British poet and novelist b. 1749. In 1812 Joseph Beer, Bohemian military, trumpeter, clarinet virtuoso, and composer who revolutionized the clarinet by adding a 5th flap, dies at 78. In 1841 Johann August Afwesen, Swedish chemist who discovered the element lithium, dies at 49. In 1852 Gerhard Moritz Röntgen, Dutch industrialist founder of Feijenor Dockyard, dies at 57. In 1854 James P. Carroll, composer, dies at 67. In 1857 Louis Eucnik Vainac, French soldier and politician b. 1802. In 1875 William Howard Glover, English composer, dies at 56. In 1877 Johann Herbeck, Austrian composer and conductor conducted Premiere of France Schubert's Unfinished Symphony, dies at 45. In 1877 Robert Swinhoe, British naturalist b. 1835. In 1879 Marie Roch-Luret-Bord, French writer b. 1799. In 1890 Charles Edward Moody, English book publisher, founder of Moody's Lending Library, which dominated the UK circulation library movement, dies at 72. In 1893, Carter Harrison Roman III, American politician, Mayor of Chicago 1879-87, 1893, assassinated by a disgruntled supporter at 68. In 1897, Hercules Robinson, British colonial administrator, Ceylon, Fiji, New Zealand, South Africa, dies at 72. In 1899, Grant Allen, Canadian writer-woman who did, dies at 51. In 1899, Ottmar Mergenthaler, German-American inventor who invented the linotype machine that revolutionized printing, dies of tuberculosis at 45. In 1900, Max Emliller, German-born British Orientalist, dies at 76. In 1905, Alphonse Allais, French humorist and author Le Chat Noir, dies at 51. In 1914, Adelgunde of Bavaria, German princess and wife of Duke of Modena, dies at 91. In 1914, Richard Huberger, Austrian opera composer, dies at 64. In 1916, Cleveland Abb, American meteorologist, father of Weather Bureau, dies at 77. In 1916, Oswald Bolk, German World War I pilot and author of the first manual of air combat, Dieter Bolk, dies in an air collision at 25-1. In 1917, Prince Christian of Schleswig-Holstein-Sonderburg-Augustenburg b. 1831. In 1918, Edward Bouchet, American physicist, first African-American to receive US Ph.D., dies at 66. In 1918, Ulysse Dini, Italian mathematician and politician, fondamenti per la teoria del funzioni di variabili, dies at 72. In 1919, Ted Wainwright, English cricket all-rounder, 5 tests, Yorkshire CCC, dies at 54. In 1922, Hugo Verriest, Flemish writer and poet, Flemish motion, dies at 81. 1927, Joseph Eaton Faning, British organist and composer of the Vikings, Mock Turtles, dies at 77. Chancellor of the German Empire 1900-09, dies at 80. In 1929, Hermann Ungar, Moravian writer, dies while undergoing an appendectomy at 36. In 1939, Alice Brady, American silent and talkie film actress, My Man Godfrey, the gay divorcee, Zenobia, dies of cancer at 46. In 1940, Andrea De Angeli, Italian composer, dies at 71. In 1944, Helen Maglewhite, American educator and first woman to earn a Ph.D. in the US, dies at 90. In 1944, Iman Jacob van den Bosch, Dutch WW2 resistance fighter, shot and executed at Westerbork transit camp at 53. In 1952, Billy Hughes, 7th Prime Minister of Australia, Labour, nationalist, 1915-23, dies at 90. In 1957, Tony Morabito, American football executive who founded and co-owned the San Francisco 49ers, dies of a heart attack at 47. In 1959, Abe Waddington, English cricket fast bowler, 2 tests, 1 wicket, Yorkshire CCC, dies at 66. In 1959, Camilo Cienfuegos, Cuban revolutionary b. 1932. In 1959, Egon Kornorth, Austrian classical pianist, composer, and teacher, dies at 68. In 1962, Pierre Freudenbys, Belgian organist, composer, and musicologist, dies at 48. In 1963, Mart Saar, Estonian composer,